So in this video I set out to head to mid-Wales to see Sam at their latest rent serviced accommodation. This is a large 6-bed farmhouse sat in amongst amazing scenery. This is going to generate over £3,000 profit per month. These guys have 8 of these properties scattered throughout the UK. They are absolutely killing it, but it didn't always work out like that. When they joined me as individuals. 8 months into the program, they JV'd. They took on a 1-bed flat, which I advise not to take on because 1-beds do not work. They took it on anyway, got a vast amount of experience very quickly from doing that. Then they went into a 7-bed serviced accommodation property, and that's essentially what launched them into larger properties and running them as Airbnbs. So if you want to hear the raw story of Sam and how it all started and the pitfalls of Rent to SA at this sort of level, make sure you're watching to the very end.
Oh, okay. You're not necessarily telling the truth here, are you? Every opportunity that is presented to you is a risk to begin with. It all looks like risk. Probably about 120 grand a year that house does in revenue, pays £1,700 a month in rent.
That's pretty incredible.
Well, what's the profit margins on this deal, roughly? You know we're heading to Sam and Zak's house when you come off the main road and the road's 6 feet wide. This is the main entrance to the house. Just had to show you guys this, look. This is the driveway to Sam and Zak's new rent-to-rent serviced accommodation. This is the driveway.
So this is Sam and Zak's, not this one here. This is their latest Rent to SA. How many bedrooms, Sam?
6.
6 bedrooms.
This is a 6.
Serviced accommodation in the middle of Wales. So I've driven up to see Sam.
Welcome to the latest humble abode. Come on in. There's a bit of shite in here at the moment, as you can see. We've got some new trampoline to go in, but the house was already furnished for the most part. Dining room that's going to have a pool table in it. This will be replaced with a dining table come pool table, but we're not going to do bundles. We're going to tart it up a little bit, paint it where it needs painting, make it look pretty, but we've already bought the deal as a complete thing with all the furniture you see I've bought.
So you bought this deal?
I bought the deal. Bought the deal plus the furniture all in one hit for a hell of a lot less than what you might think.
Okay, I'm going to say, well, what's the profit margins on this deal, roughly?
I don't know, I'll tell you when they come in.
We've obviously taken it on for a reason, so I'm going to say this deal is about 10k to take the deal on.
The actually, no, to be fair, by the time you've paid the first month's rent, and he wants the first month's and last month's up front instead of a deposit, which is fine. So yeah, by the time all is said and done, I've probably spent less than 10 grand on doing this house. But I bought the furniture for £1,000, which was already in it. I paid £3,000 for the deal.
You bought all of the furniture in
Everything
here.
you see within this house cost me £1,000.
Has the deal sort of lost their mind or something?
She's a good girl.
Okay, fair play, £1,000.
Yeah.
So how much did you pay for just the deal?
I gave her £3 grand for the deal.
So £4,000 for this deal.
£4,000
plus all of the furniture, which would cost more than £4,000 to furnish.
I probably would have spent 10 to 15 grand.
That's insane.
In furniture anyway.
So when people say it's so hard to find a deal, they do exist, don't they? They are out there.
Yeah, they are out there. You've just got to be looking.
Consistently.
Consistently. Consistency is key in this game. A foosball table, just because.
Why not?
Just because why not? The main living room, again, all the furniture in this come as part of the package. Go and buy 2 sofas, new ones. You're not getting no change out of £1,000, are you?
Yeah.
But yeah, everything you can see, I'm not going to do bundles in here. I'm going to tart it up a little bit, I'm going to make it look a little bit more fancy, put my own spin on the thing. But for the most part, we're not going to do bundles to it because we don't really need to. Come walk through here into the old farm style kitchen, which is a little bit messy because me and Kenny just had eggs and bacon.
Why not? Really
old kitchen, old sort of style kitchen of farmhouse. It's all quite pretty and fitting. Log burner down there if you want to get one burning. While you're cooking. Little utility room just off of here. Cleaner's cupboard utility room. Nothing really special. Towels and washing machine, mate. And an electric board. Downstairs bathroom, small downstairs bathroom. The first bedroom downstairs, so the only bedroom downstairs.
Yeah.
Pretty straightforward. Nothing too special in here. We're only going to put our own touch on it and do a few bits and pieces. Do you want to go see garden?
Yep.
First of all, needs a little bit of work out here. We're not going to do Again, we're not going to do shed loads. We're going to put some lighting around, all the way around the fence line. Got a TV outside already. Bit of a weird thing to have, I know, but nonetheless it's it's there, so we might as well make use of it. Hot tub, sauna, a couple of benches to be made there. There's a trampoline to be going that you saw in the front of the house in boxes. And just a general tidy up. There's not really bundles of maintenance with this house, because that's what this is effectively what you have. Walk back through the kitchen, and then we'll follow it round to the right and go upstairs.
Do you know what, I've seen this and I could heavily relate to this. I look homeless 97% of the time, but that 3%
So you got 3 bedrooms this side. First, double bedroom. Again, we're not going to do loads in here. We're just going to tighten it up a little bit, throw our own spin on it. But for the most part, it's all there. There's not really much that needs to be done. We'll make it nice and pretty. Walk through into here, you've got another double bedroom that sits behind it there. Fair size. Again, nothing special in here. Just tighten it up a little bit, make it special. Get rid of these TVs because none of them work.
And they're from the 50s. Not that they had 50s TVs in the 50s, but if they did, it would look like that.
It would look something like that, yeah.
They might have had TVs in the 50s.
Little single bedroom, but what we're probably going to do with this is replace it with bunks.
Yep.
So for the kids, we'll get a bunk that sits in here. Now this room's for 2 people rather than just 1. More heads on beds, more money. Wander back through to the east wing.
Yeah.
Another single bedroom. I'd quite like to do the same in here. Put another a bunk bed in this one. Ooh, look, money spider there.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully, might put him around your head. Might make me some money.
Just made him dizzy, that's all.
But again, nothing special in there. Just tied it up, throw your spin on it. And then you have the family bathroom, clean, it's fresh. And then off into the master here. This is where I've been sleeping, so the bed isn't that well made. Ensuite bathroom.
So as I arrived, the landlord was here, wasn't he? What was you talking about?
Yeah, we was currently negotiating the purchase of this cabin, potentially, that we'll take under a mini lease option, if you will.
Yeah.
Or something to that effect. So I've got to meet him down the pub tonight. He's invited me down the pub tonight for a couple of beers to discuss this even more so. He's going to think about it and let me know. So I've put it out there that yes, we would like to purchase it, but we don't want to just give you 10 grand up front. I want to know if it works first of all. So we're going to purchase this hopefully under an option agreement, and then we will rent the piece of ground. The only reason we was talking about renting this initially, but I want to piss around with it and I want to put new windows in it, make it more bright and spacious. So we're actually going to pick that thing up, we're going to stick it there so it looks out across into the valley here. It needs a little bit of work. These windows, I want these to be nice and big because at the moment they're very small and it's quite dim inside.
Give it a good boot.
Give it a kick. Obviously there's no power in it at the moment, but this will be an additional space to the house. This won't be a separate unit. This will be additional for
additional space. Yeah.
I can charge more for that house if I can use this.
Yeah.
Effectively. So got a little toilet, the little bedroom that's in here.
I like the roof light. Yeah.
You've got a skylight so you can look out across the stars at night time, which is really nice to be fair around here.
Perfect.
It's very dark around here at night time, as you can imagine. We're in the fuck nuts of nowhere. So
this is an exciting project though, isn't it? So you were discussing a lease option. What does that look like?
It looks like we was going to rent it anyway. Like, so we would have ended up giving him probably 400 quid a month to rent this, 400 or 500 quid to rent this, plus this bit of land. But instead of renting it, we've said we'll buy it off of you over a couple of years. So within that 2 years of paying 400 or 500 quid a month plus the ground rent, so probably going to top out about £500, but to purchase this over 2 years, and then by the time that purchase is all said and done, we'll then have ground rent here of probably about 100 quid, maybe 150 quid a month. So we'll start off paying about 2.5 grand a month for this and that, but then after the 2 year period, and this thing is now complete, like a mini lease option if you will, we then have ownership of this cabin. So if it does go to shit there and it doesn't make money and after 2 years it's not all working out, we've now got this cabin that we're gonna have to figure out what to do with it. Or
pick it up.
If all goes to crap at home with my family life, then I'm coming to live in a cabin in the middle of Wales. So yeah, nice cheap place for me to live if it all goes to shit, basically. It's my backup plan. If she leaves me, it's where I'm coming to live.
Yeah.
But I could live here, looking out across this.
It's pretty special.
Yeah. It's a bit windy and a bit bleak in the winter, I can imagine, but who doesn't want to look out across an international tractor during the day anyway?
And also what you get with Wales, sheep.
I've never seen so many in all my life. The guy has got hundreds and hundreds of the things.
You started coming up 3 years ago, August 22.
August 22.
You started. What do you feel like you've really learned?
Oh, in this whole, mate, I've learned so much in this time. So very much. A lot about people.
Yeah.
A lot about like people skills, dealing with landlords, dealing with agents, learning how to communicate with these types of people.
Before you go further, do you follow UFC a little bit? Do you know Justin Gagey?
I listen to Rogan's podcast.
Okay.
So I listen to him talk about fights, fight nights and whatever else, but I don't, if there's a really good fight on.
It's funny how you say people, because that's the biggest change in myself I've seen, is trying to have normal conversations when you need to have normal conversations, because my brain's just ticking. Just normal conversations is tough sometimes. And Justin Gagey, he lives on his own. He'd love to have a wife and kids. Lives completely on his own, doesn't really have mates. He said he'll go weeks without even saying a word or speaking to anybody. And he says he just shouts out loud sometimes to hear his own voice. And he says it's sad, but he said, I'm a fighter. There cannot be any distractions. I'm a clear fighter. I need to be the best.
That's the level of stoicism.
But what I've read deep into that is he doesn't want any distractions. I think times are so tough on younger kids right now, like 17, 18-year-olds, because, you know, when I was that age, it was straight away, you've come out of school, it's, I'm an adult now, I have to figure it out. And there's so much pressure to like figure the rest of your life out. You've got thousands of sheep. You know, you're a young sheep, you stood there, don't know which direction to go, and you've got thousands of sheep all walking in the same direction and saying, come on, this is the way, this is the way, come on, with us, we know what we're doing, come on, this is normal. And then you've got the odd sheep like saying, don't follow them.
Don't do that.
Don't
That's
do that.
a bad idea.
Yeah.
All of these sheep are walking to the abattoir.
Yeah.
All of the sheep are walking to the abattoir. They're on their way there. Slowly but surely, they're
Might take them 80 years to get there.
But they're going to be stuck in this relentless life, stuck in a field with a whole load of other sheep. And there is that one sheep, or there's a couple of sheep, like, come this way. Come and do this. This is the thing you want to do.
No, but it's hard, isn't it? Because you've got thousands of sheep saying that, and then you've got one saying don't do that. And you've got a young sheep, like at the age of 17, thinking, who do you believe? And
Which way do
social
I go?
media is full of, you know, everyone is so vocal on social media right now.
Who do you listen to? Who are you going to take your information from? There's a select few people that I take my information from, and I trust the source within reason. But for the most part, like anything general news, I don't believe a word anything said on the news anymore.
Yeah.
I'm just, it's a propaganda machine. I'm so aware that they're trying to take you in a direction that they want to take you in.
Yeah.
They want you to think in that certain way that gets you to be this sheep for a long period. You're going to be that lamb in the field that's going to grow into the ewe or to the ram that then eventually walks off to the abattoir.
Fenced in.
Yeah, fenced in. This is your boundaries. You stay here between this wall, this fence and this fence. This is where you live. You
try and go outside of those boundaries.
Don't jump outside of that lane, because you're going to get eaten by the wolf.
And you'll get zapped if you try and...
And you're going to get zapped on by the electric fence on the way out. It's a really good analogy of it. You are a sheep that's penned up in a field that does eventually get walked to the abattoir very slowly.
So when you said people, it just reminds me of, you know, that sort of thing.
I like to listen to property people that have been in property quite a period of time. Somebody who's done what I want to do and they've done it extremely well. I can't take advice from anybody that hasn't done the thing I want to do and done it extremely well. Just can't do it. Like, where's your experience on this story? Where is your experience in rent to rent? Where is your experience in buying this serviced accommodation? Where's your experience in all these things that I want to do? You haven't got none.
Yeah.
If you haven't got none, I'm not listening to you. Like, I appreciate you as a person, but unfortunately the information that you have is no good to me. You don't have the experience.
You're wired the way you are. You ask questions. A lot of people don't ask questions. They just assume that's the right direction to go.
No,
is that person that's saying that? Is that real? Like during COVID, I think that was the clear divide.
Yeah, massively.
Clear divide, and it's still a touchy subject, but everything the news was saying, I was questioning. But the people around me were like, no, that's the advice of the professional. It divided the nation.
100%.
But straight down that, people who ask questions, people who just believe what they're being told is true. Which I'm not saying it wasn't true. I'm just the type of person who asks questions. I'm not saying the other type, don't get in the comments section. I'm not saying...
The comment section's a scary place to be, mate. Fucking keep out of it.
Isn't it crazy though, how somebody online will watch a video and then go to the comment section for validation?
Yeah.
And then the person who gets the most likes in the comment section, they're right.
They're the one that's right, but it's not true.
It's crazy.
Oh, you got the most following on this, so yeah, you must be
Yeah,
right.
it's what you said, because
everyone else is agreeing.
all the other sheep are agreeing.
They're like, bah, yeah!
There should be a bar button.
Yeah, there's a bar button right there. You've just got to get out of that way of thinking. You need to get out of the mainstream way of thinking, because it will never take you to the places you want to go. Your dreams and your aspirations don't come from following that crowd.
And this goes back to people, doesn't it?
Yeah,
because we think like the
minority.
We think like the minority.
Yeah, 100%.
Does go against the grain.
I don't care though. I don't care if I'm going against the grain. I know that I'm going to get a bit of shite for whatever I'm saying, or for. I try to keep out the way and just do my thing in quiet.
That's what I mean. Just engagey.
Yeah. Closes the doors. It's noise.
Yeah, it's noise.
It's all unnecessary
affects his
noise.
mindset, and it might make him lose.
Yeah.
You know? And when I read that, I was just like, I can relate to that. Most entrepreneurs can relate to that. Being an entrepreneur is,
Being an entrepreneur can be lonely.
Well, you're the black sheep in its own lane.
Yeah. You're
watching all of the other sheep go one way, and you're thinking, I'm going this way. Am I doing the right thing?
You've got to surround yourself with people that are going the other way, and you can see that what they've done, they've taken on X amount of houses. They are clearly killing it. They're clearly making big waves in the industry that they're working in. I'm like, shit, I want to listen to that guy. That guy knows what he's talking about. Like, he's stacking cash. He's driving a roller, or he's in a Defender, nice brand new Defender, or whatever else. So you can show that it's not all about the flashy cars and the this and the that and the other.
No, it's choices.
It is life choices.
It's choices. I've got an Austin 35, 1935 Austin 7. Paid £5,000 for that just because I wanted it. I've got a 2007 Mini. That's my commuter, and I've got a £100,000 Defender. But my favourite car is the Mini, £1,500 car. But it's just
your little run around town.
It's a little run around. Like it. When people look at me in the Defender, most people might even think lucky.
Lucky for you.
Yeah. Oh, how the other half live.
How the other half live. You got lucky, and you're like, the fuck, I got lucky.
Yeah. It's just choices. Yeah. So if I want a nice car, I can get a nice car. If I want a cheap runabout,
I can have a cheap.
Have a cheap runabout. It's like you're not tied to one car, and you hope and pray it doesn't break because of. The cost of tyres have gone up. The price of fuel has now reached 180. Oh God. Being an entrepreneur, the best thing about it is just choices.
Freedom and choice.
Yeah.
What this has brought me is the freedom to work when I want, how I want, when I want, with no boss. There's nobody over me. I love what I do. I get to come to beautiful places like this. You're not going to
have a bacon sandwich.
Yeah, have a bacon sandwich with my good friend Kenny. Get to look out across the view out here. There's loads of sheep in the field. Look, they're all off to the abattoir at some point soon. I get to watch all the sheep walk that way, and I get to be the guy in the house. And it doesn't come fast, doesn't come quick at all. It does take time to make it happen. You've really got to work hard on it consistently. That's where most people go wrong, is consistency.
I'd say it's 80% mindset, 20% action. Because if you rewind 100 years, there was no phones, there was no internet, there was no YouTube. If you wanted a book on how to be an entrepreneur, you probably wouldn't ever find one.
You'd go to the...
Exceptionally hard to become an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Borderline impossible. Now it's so easy. Yeah. You go on Google or YouTube, how to start a property business. Kaboom.
Everything.
Property seminars all across the country.
Yep.
Facebook groups everywhere. Connect with people, go to, landlord events. Like, it's so easy. It's just your mindset.
Yeah.
And limiting beliefs.
Without the mindset leaves you upset. As Rob Moore once said. I can't claim that one.
Who?
That come from Rob Moore, that one did. Who? Who's that guy?
Yeah.
That guy that lost a fight a few years ago against another property guy.
Yeah. Brilliant.
But yeah, it is more about listening to the people that are doing the things that you want to do. Don't take advice from people that
The problem is now, it's too noisy in that space. It's who to believe. It's almost, there's a lot of sheep, loads of black sheep, and you're like, that one's saying to go that way, that one's saying to go that way, that one's saying to go that way, and you're just like, who do I believe? Like,
who do I believe? Who do I trust here? You have to make a conscious decision. Go with your gut for the most part, because I would have been in a completely different story, completely different case if I would have gone to a different mentorship program. And I very nearly did, accidentally. But this was before I was watching you, I was watching these guys, and I was going, okay, they make a lot of noise on social media, they're promoting all these things, but actually once you got to know what was happening behind the scenes, oh, okay. You're not necessarily telling the truth here, are you? And you get to find out that actually, if I would have joined that course, I might not have been as successful as what I am right now.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have met the business partner I have right now.
No.
Could have taken it. Yeah, could have taken it in a complete different trajectory.
Yeah, you might still be successful. You're not the type of person to quit, but you might have had to pay again to rejoin again.
Yeah, I probably would have had to pay again.
Yeah.
And without you, to be fair, I wouldn't have got in the position that I am now because I needed the kick up the arse. I had the comfortable job that paid me a good wage every year. I was very, very much in the comfort zone. Like I had disposable income. It wasn't necessarily...
Yeah, do you know what? Fair play for making it. Because usually the most successful entrepreneurs come from hardship. I was listening to a podcast on the way up. Steve Harvey lived in his car for 3 years.
Did he really?
Alex Hormozy was
lived in his gym
lived in his gym, slept in his gym. I mean, his gym, but he come from hardship. Most entrepreneurs, they really do come from hardship.
I think it's very difficult to escape the comfort zone, and I did find that quite difficult because I'm like, well, I've got a good job here. It's paying me a really good salary every year, but I am very stressed with the job. And now I've got to try and put time.
Yeah, so your hardship is the stress of it. Now you've got the time with your kids.
A hell of a lot more time with my kids, although I do come away and do this, and that does have...
Yeah,
there is sacrifices to be made.
Well, you work for your business.
We're all working together to progress the business now. Like my partner, she's involved, Tony's involved with the whole scenario now. She deals with guests, she deals with orders, she deals with...
She's only just got involved though,
isn't she? Only just, and it was a big...
2.5 years later.
It was a big wedge for a long period of time. It was like, oh, you're off doing that on your business again. You're doing this on your business again. And I'm like, well, hold on a minute, darling. This is actually for you. This is for you and the kids. I'm not disappearing off for a week or 10 days or 2 weeks or whatever it is.
How did you cope with that for so long then?
It's fucking hard. Really, really hard. There's nothing harder for me than having a problem at home and having that horrible gut feeling that you've got issues at home that you can't deal with right now because you're not there. She feels a high level of resentment towards you because you're off doing what you want. She's stuck back at home with the kids, 4 kids at home, doing the school runs, looking after the kids, and it's a job in itself. Plus she's an accountant, she's got a full-time job, and now she's doing all of this on her own.
How long have you been together?
8 years.
So for 5.5 years of your 8-year relationship, she had a stable pattern.
Yes.
You go to work, you come home at X time.
Yep.
You go to work. So I understand because now there is no pattern.
No, the pattern is completely wrecked now.
I think for men we like spontaneous challenges, you know, we're hunters.
I like to solve problems.
Solve problems, you know.
Yeah, problem solving.
We hate patterns. Men hate patterns. It's in our blood to hunt. Like there's no pattern to hunting. It's challenges.
I get excited about solving problems that other people can't.
Do you find running a business and scaling it extremely fun? Even though it's challenging, stressful, it's...
Yeah, it's fun, and then when you start to see the bank balance rise, quite significantly coming into high season now, and then you're seeing large figures drop into your account, like payout the other day. You got a payout from Airbnb of £5,003, and you're like, oh.
Cheers, then.
Cheers, son. Thanks very much. Yeah. Like, oh, so that's my monthly wage and a bit more in just
one booking,
one payout. So there is something here. If we can continue making this money like this, we're going to be in a pretty good position at some point soon. And then the tax man comes and decides he wants a nice fucking chunk of it, but that's a complete different story in itself.
That's it. You got to look at your bank balance, half it, and then the rest is kind of yours.
Sort of, yeah.
That's the safe way to play it.
The way we've run it is we've reinvested back into the business every single time. Like this is completely there was no investors involved with this property. We've bought the deal for a really, really good price. We bought all the furniture in it for a really, really good price. You've got the beautiful views. And I probably, if I took this house on as an empty carcass, I probably would have put 20 grand into it. But I'm established, yeah, and we're in that position to make those kind of moves. When we've made those moves in the past, they've paid off. When we've put big money into
you've got the experience now.
And now we look at it and go, I can make that really nice and I'm going to put 20 grand into it. But in that first year, I'm going to have that 20 grand back plus some. Provided I've got my numbers right, provided I've got this property right and people like staying in it, I'm going to have that money back in no time. But I've got it for 5 years, or I've got it for 10 years or 3 years or whatever else. As long as the numbers make sense, every opportunity that is presented to you is a risk to begin with. It all looks like risk. Oh, that's a risk, that's a risk, that. What if that risk goes well? That opportunity could pay off. Highsmore, for instance, the house up in the Lake District does over 100 grand a year. Probably about 120 grand a year that house does in revenue. Pays £1,700 a month in rent.
That's pretty incredible.
It's crazy. Absolutely crazy, but we did take that house on when it was 90% complete after the refurb. We done a bit of a deal with her. I finished all of the works within the house. I did a lot of electrical work, I did the carpentry, I did a lot of plumbing, I built units around the boiler. There was so much work to do there. Spent a month to 6 weeks, spent 27 grand in the house to finish it. That 27 grand is long paid back now, because we borrowed that off an investor to begin with. That's now long paid back, and now it makes money again. So it's definitely worth doing, but like I say, that these opportunities all look like risk to begin with, but they do pay off if you get the right ones.
That's it, yeah. Calculated risks, not just going, oh, that's a good looking property, let's take it on. It's all calculated.
It is all calculated risks. And don't get me wrong, we have fucked it up a few times.
Yeah.
There has been...
But you wouldn't be where you are without those calculated risks, mistakes, learn from the mistakes. I was listening to, again, I drive all over the country, as you know, I'm here. I was listening to Alex Hormozy, and he said entrepreneurship and what you deem to be the success level, the goal you're chasing, the end game, right, is like a mountain. And people have short-term focus. He said they'll be climbing the mountain, being consistent in what they're doing, and then they'll see somebody else killing it doing that. So they change course. Like there's many ways to climb a mountain, many paths.
You can go straight up, you can
that
take
would
this
be a
path,
challenge, but
you can take this path.
Yeah. He said there's not just one path to the top of the mountain.
There's many.
There's many. So just stay consistent with one, don't get distracted and see someone else killing it over there, because then you'll be going sideways, up, sideways, down a little bit, sideways, and it will take you forever. Just be consistent.
It is also about knowing when to say no. You have to say
when
no.
to walk away.
You have to learn when to say no to a lot of shit.
But you have to make many mistakes. Be consistent to figure it out. Yeah. That was his whole analysis.
You don't know until you try.
That's it.
But learning from your own mistakes is fantastic. Well done. Take that another level up from that and now learn from somebody else's mistakes.
Not many people have made very expensive mistakes on my program because I made them.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't do this. Follow this action plan. Follow this course.
When did that tenant last pay rent? Right. When is it due? It was due yesterday, right? Section 21. Straight away. But they only stopped paying rent yesterday. Don't care. Process.
Put it through.
Yeah, get it through. Because you give them an inch, they'll take a mile, and they'll pull at your heartstrings. I paid dearly, but I could afford the mistake I made. Newbies can't.
Yeah. No, you can't afford the mistake, to be fair, when you're first starting.
I seen on one of the Facebook pages yesterday, someone was looking for a mentor, and I thought, here we go. The comment section. I love reading the comments.
Here it is.
It's like, this is where all the sheep hang out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just crazy. So I clicked in the comment section. It's like, don't get a mentor. You've got YouTube, you've got ChatGPT. You can easily do it all yourself. I can YouTube how do I drive a car. It's easy. Someone will literally show you. This is how you drive a car.
Here's the gear stick, here's the clutch, here's the brake, here's the
This is when to do this, this is a roundabout, this is the speed, you can watch a YouTube video many times. You could rewatch it 100 times and you'll know everything in your mind. But then go sit in a car.
Now you go sit in the car
and drive to Scotland. You would not know how to drive.
I'm not too sure about
So
this.
you get a mentor, and they're called instructors to teach you how to drive.
Yeah.
And be there with you. And when you're about to make a
big mistake, that person hits the brake
slam
and
the
they
brakes
go, whoa!
to prevent you making a mistake. Anyway, so that was running through my mind, and I thought all of these people, this person is looking for a mentor, and you've got all of these sheep saying, don't do it, go on YouTube, use ChatGPT, you can learn everything here. Don't do it. Send me a message if you need any help. Don't get a mentor. And I'm like, the one black sheep. I was thinking, I will be that one black sheep. And I just commented. I said, I would never take any advice from anyone who tries to put me off ever getting a mentor. And I thought, this will annoy the sheep.
Here it comes.
Yeah. So I sent it, and then my notifications were just going ding, 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 ding.
Bing, bing,
and I didn't read
bing,
any of them. I don't respect the opinions of people who have never walked the walk.
Nope. Not at all.
So why?
I can't listen to you.
I can't. And this all relates back to when you said people. Like, being an entrepreneur is so hard to deal with people. You've got to know when to say what, because we're different mindsets now.
Yeah.
I love it. I love the growth of being an entrepreneur, but it's hard. You've got to be so reserved and know when to be reserved.
Yeah.
Because you can easily offend people.
You do find the growth as well, your own personal growth, you will grow away from some of your close friends. Some of your friends that are sheep, that are very happy being a sheep, and they're happy being in that pen out there. They're happy inside those four walls. I'm not happy inside there. I'm now breaking away from that. And then you go and talk to that person, and oh, that's risky, or you don't want to do that, that's not... I'm sorry, I can't listen to you anymore.
Yeah.
And then I have found over a period of time, these past 2-3 years, that there's people I've grown away from. I've grown away from them because they don't think the same way I do, and I find it very difficult to be around people that don't respect that. And I'm all for you to live your life the way you want to do it. If you want to do that, that's completely up to you. I'm never going to tell you to do anything otherwise.
Yeah.
Like, if you're happy doing that, you're happy. I'm not going to try and force you out of it. So don't try and force me out of doing what I'm doing. Don't preach what you've got to say when you haven't done the thing I'm trying to do. You haven't completed that task. You not completed it, mate.
Yeah, it's not completed it.
Yeah, you haven't completed it, mate.
Need to get a t-shirt. You've not completed it, mate.
You've not completed it, mate. So unfortunately, I can't listen to you anymore.
That's it.
And,
but it's hard to say that, isn't it? You've just got to be reserved. You just got to be the best way I learn is when I'm around my friends that I knew before I entered business. It's like, number one rule, we don't talk about business.
Yeah.
That's the only way we're going to stay friends, because they like taking the piss. I don't mind. It's like, yeah, do your thing, do what you need to do.
You have to let the actions speak louder.
Yeah, that's it. It's just like
the talk is cheap.
Yeah, I just say to them,
look at the outcome.
I just say to them, you pay your bills, I'll pay mine. Like, I'm not paying for yours, so I don't need you to pay for mine. Let's just don't talk business. Simple as that.
Some people you can't talk business with, me. Without talking, I find I talk about business quite a lot. Because
it's your passion.
It's my passion.
It's your passion. You're hungry for it. It's a challenge. It's like going to the gym. And
I need somebody to feed that with me.
Yeah.
I need someone to be equally as passionate or a level of passion towards the thing that I'm trying to achieve.
And all of the challenges that come with it.
Yeah, and having somebody there to discuss that problem with.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a complete fuck up. How are we going to deal with that?
I know. And they're the minority of people. This is why it's very lonely.
But I can't talk about that problem with the large majority.
Yeah.
Because you're going to go, oh, throw the towel in. Oh, you should do this. I'll just give it up.
Why don't you just, just give it up.
Yeah, give it up.
It's like,
and you're like, do I look like I'm somebody who gives up?
Yeah.
Do you think I really come this far to walk back now?
This is why celebrities only date celebrities. They're all similar minded.
Can't date outside of that pool now.
The majority of celebrities can't date outside of that pool.
They've got that kind of level of aura around them, haven't they? That level of fame that
people
look up to.
It probably is very hard
to
be with. I don't know. I can't comprehend that mindset, but
I can comprehend the mindset I have right now, and it's taken me a long time to get it, and I don't plan on getting rid of it anytime soon.
Yeah, that's it. At the end of the day, it's family mode, and then it is family mode.
Yeah,
I've kept my personal life very separate to business, so respect for you bringing your wife in. That's going to be challenging, or it might be the best thing you've ever done.
It's actually a hell of a lot less challenging now. Now I make her more of a decision maker as well now. So like, I'll give her the option. I say, what do you think about this? How do you feel about that? And if it's anything like interior design, I'm fucking useless at. Like anything like, where does that picture go? How can we make this flowery thing work?
Yeah, I
don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
I don't care. You tell me where to put it. Tell me where to drill the hole and tell me where you want the thing.
Mark the hole up.
I'll go around and I'll push all the holes for you. You just tell me where you want the things and how they're going to look nice.
That's how me and my wife work as well.
Yeah, just
put up a stairgate yesterday. I don't want to measure it up and pencil mark, and I can't be bothered. It's like,
where do you want it, love?
Yeah,
I want it here.
Mark that. Right.
Cool. Yeah. Job done. 5 minutes in and out. No problem.
Where do you plan to be in another 2.5 years?
Another 2.5 years, we'd like to have a lot of properties purchased.
Yeah.
When I say a lot, I'm probably only what we actually think we're going to get and what we actually get. We'll probably only end up buying a couple, and then it will be a very slow burn from there. But we would like to continue taking on rent to rents like we do, because we are in this business now. People look for these types of properties for us. When the opportunity arises and the numbers make sense, why not jump at it? So we will continue to do this for as long as it works.
Yeah, because the investment to pay off is good.
Absolutely. If I don't have an investment to pay off and I can go and chuck 10 grand into a house, self-funded, go and turn it into something beautiful like this or into one of the other houses, that house will do a hell of a lot more than 10 grand a year. If I can put 10 grand into something and I can now make 80 grand a year, 100 grand a year, 120 or even 60 grand a year, if I can make that 10,000 turn into 10 times the amount I initially put in, it was a good investment, wasn't it?
Definitely.
100%. So yeah, we will continue to do rent to rents. We will be purchasing properties, but it's more of the niche that we're in. We like the bigger houses. Like this is a 6-bedroom. We're pushing to now get a 7th bedroom on the cabin outside. So there's a cabin that we're negotiating at the moment out there. We'll take that on. That's another 2 people. The 2 single rooms upstairs, we'll turn them into bunks. Now we'll just put 4 extra heads in this house. It's got 3 bathrooms, 4 bathrooms with the additional cabin. There's plenty of bathroom space for people. And once you've jacked that number up to like 15, 16 people, you're in the sweet spot. And that's where people pay the good money to stay in houses like this. When you've got 10 people, like at the moment, this house can sleep 10 or sleep 12. There's not quite enough. But you wind that round to 14, 15, 16 people, then
You've got three families.
You can get 3 families effectively into this. So if you come and spend £2 grand, £2.5 grand to be here for the weekend, over 3 families, that's not too bad.
Yeah.
But if you're doing that as one family, £2.5 grand is quite a lot of money to just drop on a weekend away in
mid-Wales when it's pissing down rain.
In mid-Wales when it's pissing down the rain. But yeah, the more heads on beds we find, the higher the revenue can be.
Yeah.
But it has to be a comfortable more heads on beds. It can't be you're going to you're not going to cram as many people in as possible. It's got to be comfortable. It just has to be the right house. And not every house is a deal. Although you think it's a deal, they're not always a deal. You don't know that until you get them at times. But you have to make that mistake. Or you learn from Kenny, or you learn from me, or you learn from somebody that's made the mistake already. So we're very different. So we're very niched out in where we are. We like big houses, hot tubs, saunas, pool tables, events houses. So a house like this, I've got no neighbours. There's nobody to upset. You can make as much noise as you want.
You could literally shout.
You can go outside and scream as loud as you want.
Nobody would.
Nobody's going to care.
But you started with a 1-bed flat in Birmingham, and
from a one bedroom studio apartment in Birmingham to a 7-bedroom house in Birmingham 2 minutes down the road. And that's really where it kicked off.
That's where you found the niche.
That's where we found the niche. But even that wasn't a proper niche. It was a 7-bedroom house.
It was a dipping your toe into that niche.
Yes, absolutely.
That's what it was.
But then we was like, oh, this house can make £300 a night. And we're like, what? This will do £300 a night? That's mental. Like, we're going to work out the revenue with this and that's going to be fucking great. But then you're like, oh, I can add a hot tub to that. Oh, and there's a pool table now. And then there's darts boards. And then there's all the different things that you can add to the house. You've now turned that, instead of just a place to lay your head, that's now an experience. So if it's pissing with rain outside, which it probably fucking will be, it's Wales, you've got things to do inside the house.
Yeah.
You can go and sit in the sauna if you want and look out across all the hills and still really, really enjoy your experience. It's not just about getting as many people in here as possible. You have to make the property itself an experience in this niche.
So that's it.
If you're going to be getting top whack money anyway.
That's it. So this has been Sam. Joined me August 2022, 2.5 years ago. And this is where they are now.
And this is where we are now. What, we seven houses? We've had 11 or 12 properties between me and Zak. Zak already had a couple when we first got together that we've now got rid of since then. They don't fit within the niche anymore. We've made a couple of mistakes on a couple of houses that we did end up handing back due to neighbours causing a problem. And now there's one at the moment that's not really performing as well as we want it to. And if it's not performing, it's business at the end of the day. We're going to have to cut it loose.
So would you not start this business because of a couple of hiccups?
Oh no, I definitely would start this business.
Yeah.
100%. You're bound to have hiccups along the way. There's no question of that. You're human, you're going to make some mistakes. If you're really smart, you go and ask the question to Kenny first of all.
Don't take on 1-beds.
Don't take on 1-beds.
Kenny, we've taken on a 1-bed.
We've taken on a 1-bed. It's really cheap. It might make 500 quid a month, it might not. Oh no, it's actually going to cost you 500 quid a month because the bookings that you're going to get, they're not going to pay for, and you're going to get the house trashed. Yada, yada, yada. Bad property in the wrong area, wrong type of property. It just didn't make sense. But we didn't know that at the time. We might have, we was advised.
They were advised. But
we had a punt, it didn't work out. All right, let's rectify that mistake. Yes, that cost me, I don't know, 3 or 4 grand or whatever it was at the time. By the time all was said and done and we didn't really make any money, it probably was, 3 or 4 grand.
Yeah.
That mistake. 3 or 4 grand, mistake.
You don't regret it though, it was fun. Learned a few things.
Learned a few things.
No.
Learned many things. And then you took the things I learned from there, took that to the 7-bedroom house.
That's it.
Spent 6 weeks in that fucking thing,
Yeah.
trying to turn it into something really special, which was really hard because it wasn't a nice house to begin with. It was a large family house of a guy who lived in it for 27 years with his family. He'd extended it over the time, but it was so tired. We made it look a lot better than what it did, but it didn't take long for it to go back to looking a bit dingy and a bit dark and whatever else, and it just didn't perform how it once did. And we was like, do we go and put another 10 grand into this house, or do we take that 10 grand and we put it into a different property that's going to make more money? So we decided to take that 10 grand and put it into a different property that now makes a lot of money, and then we binned that one off.
There we go. We're going to have to leave it there, but thanks Sam for the coffee and the bacon and eggs.
Pleasure as always, Kenny.
Go on YouTube, Watch Sam and Zak's property tours. There's quite a few of them now. So
yeah, there's a few knocking around these days.
Right.
We're doing all right. We're ticking over.